When it comes to cold air intakes for the Jeep Gladiator, there can be only one. Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to Rob Motive JT. You know, I get a lot of questions on the channel about cold air intakes for the Jeep Gladiator, and in my opinion, there can be only one. There's only one that makes a difference, looks good, and it'll give you that sound bump that you're looking for. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about, but real quick, before I do, if you're new here, make sure you smash that subscribe button and click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. So, real quick, I'm going to show you under the hood, show you what I've got, and then we're going to go for a ride. I'm going to let you hear what this thing sounds like because it's awesome. So, let's take a look. It is, of course, the Air Raid cold air intake. This thing is awesome. Not a whole lot to it. I mean, it's not one of those big giant cold air intakes, but of course, there's not a ton of room in here anyway. So it's not like you're going to be able to fit one of those big honking boxes in here. So it's nice and sleek, does give you a window. There is a downside to this particular one. I'll get to that in a minute, but does give you a window so you can see what the filter looks like. And of course, has a big slot over here on the side to suck nice cool air in so that you can run as fuel and as power efficiently as you would like. Now, installation's pretty simple, just like every other one. You just pull the original off. It's pretty easy. Pull all the little connectors off and then reinstall them back on. Now, I mentioned there is one issue with this, and that is, and you may have noticed already, how in the world do you change the filter? I mean, it won't fit through this hole, and it won't fit through that hole, and it's a pretty big filter. Now, what you have to do is actually remove the cover over here on the side. So that basically means disassembling almost the whole hose part, if you will, or the tube part, so that you can pull this off, and it's kind of tight. See, there's a screw right down there, a screw here, and then another screw right down there somewhere. So you have to pop all those off in order to pull the intake, or the filter rather, out. So basically, you have to uninstall the cold air intake to put a new filter in. That's the biggest problem with this. Although for me, that wasn't really a big deal because, again, in the end, it gives me the sound that I was looking to get as opposed to putting a whole new exhaust system on. And that's the other thing I want to mention before we take a ride, and I'll let you guys hear what this only one cold air intake, the best cold air intake for the Jeep Gladiator sounds like. But as compared to putting a new exhaust on, this is so much more simple. You don't have to crawl underneath the truck, or if you're lucky enough like me to have a lift, it came with the house. You're going to get all dirty doing that. It's not much fun to do. I've done it before. So this is a much better alternative. Price-wise, it's going to be cheaper too. I think this one was somewhere in the $300 range, something like that. Get them when they're running sales and you'll get even a little bit better price on it. So let's go ahead, close the hood. Much easier to drive when you do that. And we'll go for a ride, and I'll let you hear what this thing sounds like on the road. Okay, we're inside. Hood is closed, by the way. I wanted to go ahead and give you guys a cold start. You're really not going to notice anything, I don't think, with this, but you be the judge. Here we go. It's not really where you hear the difference is with the cold start. Let me rev it a couple times before we get going. You can hear what that sounds like. You can hear a little bit of the woo, woo. One more time. You can hear a little bit of it there, but that's not where this cold air intake shines. Let's get out on the road. I'll let you hear it from a driving perspective. We're going to take off from a stop. I'll give it a little bit of gas. You guys can hear what it sounds like. Not too bad. Now let's take a turn. We'll give it a little more gas. You can hear it a little bit there. Where it really shines is when the Jeep warms up just a little bit. Jeep's still pretty cold, but you'll hear it a little bit more as we continue on with the ride. We're going to take off from a really bumpy turn here, so when you see me flying all over the place, it's a pretty bad spot in the road, but we're also going to get on the gas so you can hear it a little better there. Let's make a turn. That's just normal acceleration. Now I'm just going to kind of drive along. You guys can hear what it sounds like without any extra on the accelerator. Don't really hear much, which is good. I mean, what you don't want is a drone in the background. You know, if you want to hear it, it's there, but if you don't, just kind of cruise along and kind of listen to it as you go. Now, we are going to make a turn here onto a higher speed road, and I am going to get up to speed rather quickly, and then you'll be able to hear what it sounds like. I'll give it gas a couple of times as we're going, so you kind of be able to hear what it sounds like, even if you give it a little more gas while you're already cruising at a good speed. Here we go. Pretty cool. I can dig it. I like to hear the engine, you know, when I'm getting on the gas. Lets me know that there's still something under the hood that's burning dyno fluid, you know, as opposed to those EVs that are coming. And let's face it, once the EVs take over, none of this is going to matter, because unless you're piping it in via some kind of added sound, you're not going to hear anything. We're at 55 now. I was kind of listening to it myself, so you can hear again what it sounds like just cruising. And you'll notice what we're really hearing is wind noise in the Gladiator, which of course you get a lot of anyway. So let's listen for a second. Again, not a whole lot of sound coming from under the hood. Definitely drowned out a bit by the wind noise that we're getting from just cruising along. So you're not gonna have a drone or anything that's gonna, you know, really drive you nuts while you're riding along. All right, finishing up here, we're in a parking lot. I just wanted to do a few turns in here, let you hear what it sounds like as I get on and off the gas during normal slower driving. There you go. Pretty subdued, really. I mean, you're not going to get up to, you know, 90 in a parking lot. But now back onto the road, we'll accelerate up to speed, and you can hear that. There you go. There's from a turn onto a 55-mile-an-hour road. So anyway, that's kind of what it sounds like, and that's why I say for the Jeep Gladiator, there can only be one when it comes to cold air intakes, and that is the air raid cold air intake. In my opinion, I love it. One more thing I wanted to mention real quick, because I know there's always questions about this, and that is, does it increase power? They claim there is a, I think it's like 20 to 30, something like that, horsepower increase. The only way you're ever going to notice that is if you're on a dyno, and it's just going to be numbers. You're not going to feel it in the seat. It's just not enough added extra to know. So whether it really does or not, I haven't dynoed my Jeep Gladiator. You're never going to know. Anyway, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. If you have the air raid cold air intake, or maybe you've gone with something else, how does yours sound? Do you even notice it? And were you satisfied with it after you put it in? I'd be curious to know. Also, real quick, if you didn't in the beginning, make sure you smash that subscribe button and click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. I do have 2 additional channels. Rob Motive, all about my 2021 Toyota Tacoma, and Rob Motive FST, all about full-size trucks. Check them out, and if you're interested, why not subscribe? Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.